Alright, shout out to Jake Infamous. I'll be at Club Heart this Friday. Catch me there. And if you're not there, you're square. Suck my dick. Yeah.
June 18, 2018. A 20-year-old superstar walks into a motorcycle dealership in South Florida. No security, no entourage, no idea that he's already being watched. Less than an hour later, he would be slumped in the driver's seat of his car. This is the murder of XXXTentacion and the men who were sent to find him. But here's what most people still don't know. This wasn't random. It was calculated, tracked, and executed with a level of precision that raised questions the court never fully answered. 4 men were convicted, but one name, one shadow, has never left the conversation. Stay with us, because this case goes deeper than the verdict. Earlier that day, Jahseh, known to the world as XXXTentacion, had withdrawn a large amount of cash. He drove to Riva Motorsports in Deerfield Beach, Florida, just a young guy looking at motorcycles, a regular stop. But nearby, 4 men were already inside that shop. And here's the detail that Robert Allen IV, one of the convicted, could never explain away. Surveillance footage captured the group inside the dealership while X was still there, moving around him, watching him, monitoring how much cash he was carrying and where he was headed. Allen would later claim the robbery wasn't premeditated, that they simply spotted an opportunity. But the footage tells a different story. They didn't see a stranger, they saw a target. As X leaves the dealership and settles into his car, a dark SUV blocks him in. 2 masked men jump out, guns drawn. They demand everything. Something goes wrong. Within seconds, shots are fired, multiple times. XXXTentacion slumps in the driver's seat, unresponsive. The suspects grab a Louis Vuitton bag and vanish. Bystanders rush to the car. Someone starts screaming his name. He would be pronounced dead at Broward Health North a short time later. He was 20 years old. Police moved fast. Surveillance footage from the dealership and surrounding areas gave them the suspect's vehicle, their movements, and their faces. Their carelessness broke the case. Within 48 hours, the first arrest had been made. By the time it was over, 4 men were in custody. Dedrick Williams, alleged orchestrator and driver. Michael Boatwright, identified as the shooter. Trayvon Newsom, armed accomplice. Robert Allen IV, present and participating. But then, one of them made a deal. Robert Allen IV took a plea deal, testifying against his co-conspirators in exchange for a reduced sentence. His insider testimony confirmed what prosecutors already suspected. The group followed X from inside the dealership. The robbery was coordinated, not impulsive. The shooting was part of the execution, not an accident. With his cooperation, the case became overwhelming. Note this: the reduced sentence Allen received for cooperating is standard in American criminal law. Prosecutors routinely trade testimony for leniency to build stronger cases against principal offenders. This is legal procedure, not corruption. But it does mean Allen's account is the primary narrative of what happened that day, and he had every incentive to shape that narrative carefully. 5 years after the shooting, the trial finally concluded in 2023. Video footage, forensic evidence, eyewitness accounts, and Allen's devastating insider testimony. The verdict: guilty on all counts. Williams, Boatwright, and Newsom received life sentences. Allen's cooperation reduced his exposure, but he still faces significant time behind bars. The men who pulled the trigger and drove the car are not walking free. For the legal system, the case was closed. But for X's fans, his family, and a growing corner of the internet, a much larger question remained. Who sent them? Warning, please note this. Everything in this segment represents unverified fan theories and public speculation. No court has implicated anyone beyond the 4 convicted men. We are not making accusations. We are documenting what millions of people believe. And why? Before his death, XXXTentacion posted something that his fans have never forgotten. A message publicly, warning that if anything ever happened to him, Drake should be held responsible. At the time, many dismissed it as rap beef, clout chasing, social media noise. But then X was killed, and the internet started connecting dots. The first dot, a song, on May 26, 2018, just 23 days before XXXTentacion was murdered, Drake released a single called I'm Upset. The timing alone sent fans spiraling, but it was the lyrics that stopped people cold. SMS XXX, that's the only time I ever shoot below the neck. XXX was one of X's 4 known nicknames, X, XXX, and Young Dagger Dick. His fans and peers also called him Jahseh. Why you keep on shooting, if you know that nigga dead? X was shot multiple times the first shot, then twice more. That's the only kind of shit that gets you some respect. Now Drake has never clarified what those lines mean. The official reading is standard rap aggression, wordplay, flexing. But a significant portion of the internet, and some within the music industry, read it very differently. They argue that SMS wasn't a word but a coded phrase, send my shooters. That shoot below the neck maps directly to where X was struck. That why you keep on shooting if you know that nigga dead references the multiple shots fired after he was already down. And on another track, on BS, Drake would rap. Damn, maybe I should do a 20, maybe I should break that 20. Do a 10, maybe I should break that 10. Do a 5, then if it gets live, do a 5 again. If he held his tongue on that live, he'd be alive again. Fans point to this as Drake referencing a live broadcast X made, and suggesting X's death was a consequence of not staying quiet. We want to be direct with you. There is no verified evidence connecting Drake to the murder of XXXTentacion. Rap lyrics are not legal evidence. Lyric interpretation is subjective. Coincidences in timing are not proof of coordination. We are not suggesting Drake ordered a killing. We are documenting that these theories exist, are widespread, and that X himself pointed in this direction before he died. There are other questions the internet keeps returning to. Surveillance footage shows the group monitoring X inside the dealership. Yet Allen claims the robbery was spontaneous. How does a spontaneous robbery involve 4 armed men in a coordinated SUV ambush? X's uncle, Leonard Kerr, was reportedly present and unharmed. Why? Witnesses and acquaintances have questioned whether those close to X knew more than they revealed. Why weren't the shooters facing the death penalty? Florida allows capital punishment in cases of felony murder. Many of X's supporters believe the investigation stopped too early, that the question of who hired or directed these men was never seriously pursued. During the Super Bowl LIX halftime performance, Kendrick Lamar, in the middle of his public feud with Drake, appeared to reference this chapter. What exactly did he mean, and what does he know? These are not answers, they are questions that remain open. The 4 men convicted are in prison, but the theory that they were paid, that someone wanted X silenced and used these men as instruments, has never been conclusively ruled out by investigators. It simply wasn't proven. In criminal justice, that's enough to close the file. To the streets, to the fans, to the people who love Jahseh Onfroy, it isn't. XXXTentacion was 20 years old. A life filled with controversy, with real damage he caused. but also with a transformation that his fans watched happening in real time. A young man who seemed, in his final months, to be genuinely changing. He made music that reached people who felt unreachable. He talked openly about mental health before it was safe to do so in hip-hop. He was complicated. He was flawed. He was young. And in the end, it wasn't his controversies that killed him. It was the fact that he was visible, that he was carrying cash, that he was known, that he was somewhere at a specific time that someone else knew about. Whether that knowledge came from opportunity or from a phone call, the courts said one thing, and the streets have been saying something else ever since. His music is still being streamed. His son, XXX, is growing up without him, and the case, legally closed, stays open in the minds of millions. Long live XXX. You want more true crime stories told this way. No fluff, no filler, just the real story. Hit subscribe. Drop a comment below. Do you think the investigation went far enough? Or do you believe there's a chapter that never made it to trial? We read every comment, and we will follow where this story leads.